Hello, I'm AppyX Toycat, and welcome back to Store Sunday. So as you probably know by now, the Minecraft Marketplace updates every single week with brand new maps and texture packs that you can choose to purchase. Some of these cost $50, and some of these cost less than $2. But in either case, you're stuck with the same dilemma of not really knowing precisely what you're getting. I mean, this map is called Strange Rock, it looks like this, but the description just says you've been walking around for days when suddenly you see a strange rock formation in the distance. You've never seen anything like it, it doesn't seem to be of this world. What secrets does it hold? The question is, what secrets does it hold? I really don't know. What sort of map is this meant to be? Is it parkour based? Is it going to be a survival challenge map? I kind of wish it was that. Or is it some form of adventure with a story? It really doesn't clarify, and there's no way to know for sure until you pick it up. But that is the point of Store Sunday, and that is why this very interesting looking map that seems to be highly rated is something I'm going to be checking out and letting you know if it's worth purchasing in some way in today's video. So we just bought Strange Rock, and now let's play the map for ourselves and let's see exactly what's going on here. So when you load up the map for the first time, you can see how already it's very overwhelming and very different to the terrain you're used to in Minecraft. I mean, again, if we look behind us, I'm sure it's just a normal, dark oak forest back there. But as soon as we look in front of us, you can see there's a giant, crazy set of terrain here. But is the terrain meant to survive and then the rest of the mystery is something you make for yourself? Or is there a real storyline to follow? There's no book that we've got in our inventory. These things weren't made too clear before purchasing it, and all I have to go on to assume that it's good is that rating. So let's hope that all the other people who purchased this map and rated it were right in some way. I guess for now, all I can really do is follow the torches on the cobblestone walls. It's literally all we have as a recourse available to us. Am I meant to chop down trees and use them for crafting? Or will we just find that stuff later? Again, we really don't know right now. But yeah, one thing we can say is that it's very dark down here. Because there's this huge terrain above us, it means even with the torches and the lanterns and stuff, it's still pretty darn dark everywhere we can go. And also the direction is something I'm kind of working out as we go along. Also, the caves are made of hardened clay for some reason. Okay, we're finally out from underneath that. We're just kind of following these purple lines and seeing where they take us for now. I still don't quite understand what I'm meant to be doing with this map, but that's okay. This is a cloud creeper, I think you'll find. So the cool thing about this that isn't quite true for normal survival is how easy it is to pick up certain blocks, I guess. And because this is a pure survival world, it doesn't count as cheating. Oh, never mind. Achievements can't be earned in this world. So this is survival, but you don't get the benefits of survival. But you never know. I mean, maybe. Just maybe as we climb up here, there'll be some fun ones. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes now of walking, and I haven't found any direction where I'm meant to go. So I think this is just a pure survival map. It's meant to be survive on the big egg thing and then try to get to the top as you go. So was I meant to just, like, make a house on the edge here and survive like it's normal Minecraft? I mean, it is really cool terrain. Something you don't get in normal Minecraft Bedrock is terrain that generates above Y128. It will never do that naturally outside of like the treetops and stuff. So it's interesting to see that, like, okay, there is something going on up here, but the lack of explanation and the lack of really any context on what to go on or the point of all of this, like, is this kind of just meant to be like a new biome in Minecraft? Because there's one of these and then it's normal terrain outside of that. There's not really any explanation so far, either in-game or in the menus, but other people seem to like it, so maybe when we get to the top, it'll be beautiful. Maybe it'll all make sense once we finally get here. So yeah, based on the fact that there's nothing really up here, I'm guessing this is meant to be, oh yeah, it's a survival map, but with wacky terrain and stuff like that, which does have its value, I guess. I don't know why you'd have to pretend there are secrets hidden within. Maybe there are some serious secrets inside this place that you're gonna find. I thought I was getting a survival challenge, and maybe you could describe it as a survival challenge. But if it's meant to be one, the question is, what is the challenge? Because it's significantly easier, actually, than a normal Minecraft run. I mean, we haven't been doing anything, but we can get wood the same amount of ease as normal. We can get stone the same amount of ease as normal. But then if we want to get things like, oh yeah, andesite, or are these bone blocks right here? Yeah, these are bone blocks. So bone meal is significantly easier to find, which is nice, but also makes you question, is this a challenge or is this just custom terrain? You can look at this map and you can tell it took some effort to make. I mean, obviously this wasn't handcrafted, it was using tools, but they made a map based on something they wanted using some weird custom terrain you can't find anywhere else in Minecraft, but having some kind of categorization to be like, this is a custom terrain map. What you are getting when you buy this is a survival map where you can play with very slightly different terrain. I feel like that would have been more handy than what we've got, where it's like, oh yeah, you are getting something that has secrets. What are those secrets? maybe you give us money and then you find out. Right now, there's a bit of a categorization problem because it is objectively better for you, clearly, to just kind of not promise or say anything about what your map is going to be, and instead to kind of hint that it could be anything. Also, I can't really confirm this without digging through the entire map, but from what I've dug, through caves and tunnels in creative just for curiosity, I don't really think there are many secrets around here. Like, that feels a little bit like misleading on itself too. Like, oh yeah, what secrets will you find? Oh yeah, none. But I mean, like, it is a cool looking map, right? And it is a cool looking map, but I wish that you had the option to know it was just a cool looking map when you picked it up. Like, oh yeah, it's survival terrain, except by the way, the map isn't in survival by, like, it's not, cheats off by default. So it's survival, but it's the same as playing a creative survival that you built yourself, which is very different to the experience you might want when you buy something like this. Maybe I'm the crazy one. Maybe this is a great thing for a lot of people, but to me, I just question, like, oh yeah, it's... who is this for if it's custom terrain, but it's creative mode only? And also, why does it not say anywhere near it that it's a custom survival experience when it could be parkour? With the way these things go around, they make these really nice paths up. It looks like a fun parkour challenge. Oh wait, I found a secret. Look at it. We found it. There is a bunch of bars here that lead to like a little secret stronghold. This is cool. This would be a really fun thing to okay, there's nothing in the chest. I feel like they meant to have things in the chest, but when they converted over from Java to Bedrock, they lost it. There's a really common chest bug like that, in case you're curious. When you convert a Java map to Bedrock, you lose things in the chest, you have to refill them, and I think they forgot to do that with this map. Again, it's a cool idea. The execution is questionable, and if you don't know what you're getting, it's hard to know what this is. Clearly, some amount of people in the store are happy, but is that enough? Question mark. Actually, if we fly around other corners of the map, you can see some other interesting things. Here there are crafting tables, like big batches of them, which I'm not sure what these are really meant to be. And then there's a bunch of chests over here, and these chests have nothing in them, which again, either indicates that this map wanted to have a bunch of empty chests lying around. I mean, it's always a possibility, right? Question mark. Or that they converted the map and didn't check the chests themselves. And even worse than that, even, Mojang or Microsoft or whoever is in charge of reviewing the marketplace maps didn't check it either. Which is very interesting to me that you can just release a map with a floor as big as there is no point in going anywhere because all of the loot is gone. All of the interesting things in this map, the interesting, unique structures and stuff that could be something, don't have any value with those chests being broken. And so it's a map that has a potentially misleading, title and name of stuff that then is made even worse by the fact that even if you know what you're getting in a custom terrain, you don't get precisely what you think you are. Just because of the fact, oh wow, there's a little secret thing up here. You don't get precisely what you think you're getting, precisely because of the fact that there is no actual loot beyond like, oh yeah, sometimes you find a diamond block or an emerald block. Although emeralds aren't too useful here because there's no villages that I know of. And yeah, basically it creates a problem of like, even if you knew what you were getting, you're getting something slightly wrong. And this is why I think there should be slightly more central enforcement of some form of standards. Like, hey, just remind people that they should fill their chests up, because ultimately, you are buying the map from Microsoft. If they sell a very, very incomplete or unfinished or even misleading map, that is half on the developer, but also half on Microsoft. But anyway, let's not just mention this map, which I think could be great, but I feel like the feedback is like, check the map, make sure that it is what you want it to be before trying to charge people on that money. Because even though, $2 isn't too much, you could argue and therefore like, you get what you get. I feel like it's a much better attitude to treat, any customer that is going to be buying something for the first time as someone who is spending their hard-earned money or money that they have a limited amount of at the very least if you think they're, a child in some way. That's their parents' money. That's even worse, right? But, it's important to get something, at the very least, what you think you're paying for, and at the very most, something that's great and better than what you think you're paying for, and to get something that's less or different or inferior to what you think you're paying for, that is a significant downgrade. Like, say what you want about this Pizza Cats in Space skin pack. I mean, it's not something I'm personally going to be picking up, but the idea is when you look at a skin pack, you're perfectly aware of what you're buying beforehand. It is skins that look like this, or this. They're kind of questionable in how much these skins look like good skins, but they're cute, they're quirky. Like, if you want to spend a couple dollars on looking like this, you know 100% what you're getting. But the problem with a Minecraft map in just using screenshots to define it is it's very hard to be sure precisely, what a thing is. I mean, this one, G2 Crafted have significantly improved since the old days, right? And in that time, you can see how like, oh yeah, this is a map that clearly has some survival challenge, under a big dome. There's a picture there, then there's the internal pictures here. It's pretty good on that front. But on the other hand, when we look at a marketplace map, you can see how the scariest map ever doesn't, I mean, at least it's saying that it's a horror adventure map. See, there we go. It's got some clarification, but even then when you're looking at it, it's like, okay, so how big is this map? What is it really going to be? These things can be challenging, and that's why, one, good pictures are important. Maybe they could be decided by Microsoft too, and two, that this, you know, this journey in a new world thing, this kind of panorama, isn't always going to be good enough because you need more than a few screenshots to know if this is the map for you. Or at least that's my opinion, because here is Bridge Parkour. It is a brand new map that came out that sounds pretty fun. I mean, I'd love to get into parkour, right? But I look at it and I'm like, okay, so there's a bunch of like bridges that get you to a goal. How many is there? Is there a set number of levels, or are they infinitely generating? Or what is the point? Is this an adventure map, story map with all those things going on? You don't really know until you blow 490 Minecoins, that is. So immediately upon loading up this map, we're in some form of warehouse with insane, easy, hard, and normal on the walls, or medium rather, which makes me think those are difficulty levels. Do we just go into those and do it? You know, should we read the book of rules first? Let's go ahead and do that. I feel like a book is you know, like there are better ways to display rules than just in a book like this, especially when there's stuff like this. There are 4 levels of difficulty. I think we worked that out already. There's 3 different types of game mode: training, classic, and nodeful. And then we get to click a button, we'll be brought to a corridor. In training, we can discover the levels without needing to end the previous level. In classic, you have cross all levels with mobs shooting at you. Oh my god. And so this is parkour, but also it has the fun twist of there are mobs trying to stop you, which sounds just insanely infuriating. But maybe we're wrong about that. So let's try and do this, I guess. This is very confusing, actually. These level 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. But let's give it a whirl, I guess. So let's press a button over here, and let's try some parkour. Oh my god, this is very, very confusing. So, classic, no full... Oh wait, we just press the button and we go. Run! Okay, so this is parkour, but also there are pillagers. And if you're not careful, the pillagers can knock you off. Okay, level 2. Let's do it. So, same thing with pillagers. This time we're gonna... Ooh. Okay. So it seems as though ignoring the pillagers is a valid strategy. Level 3, I've got this. I do definitely like it as a bit of a twist, though, because they can attack at any time, and being ready for that potential attack is something that's great. But otherwise, yeah, it's not affecting things too much right now. I mean, I know this is easy difficulty, so I shouldn't be mocking the parkour for being simple, but it is a little bit, right? Like, the actual requirements aren't particularly high. Also, the pillagers hit each other that time. I don't know why I find that so funny, but I really do. Anyway, so we did that. We did a whole level just now. There's 10 steps to every level. So, also wait. Yeah, level complete. So in addition to it really being like 20 levels, there's 10 levels per level. And also you can do them in the no full game mode, which is another, like, it's kind of like the hardcore mode. So there's effectively 200 levels in 2 different difficulties for 400-ish levels. So what we'll do now is we'll just skip ahead to something that can be normal. Oh no, you literally cannot. You have to do them in order. I think that's a little frustrating, like, okay, sure. So we'll try no fall this time just to see how different it is. We're not allowed to fall. Okay, I would not have guessed that that was a rule until they clarified. Yeah, doing 10 levels in a row without trying to fall a single time, especially when there's pillagers, I can see this being a little bit intense. I mean, right now, the parkour... I get they're trying to gradually make it go harder, but this is almost exactly the same difficulty as before. It's just instead of being made out of granite, it's made out of stone bricks. Okay, this is slightly different. There was a stop required right there. But yeah, this is mostly some pretty rooms with just some blocks in the middle. I do like the setup, at least. I feel like the amount of effort to make 400 of these little rooms, that's something, right? You know, that's something where you can see the value. Okay, one last step. If we fall here, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. So let's pray that doesn't happen. Okay, it didn't. We nailed it. So that is parkour level 2 complete. Every time we spawn back here, which means a little bit of annoying running to get where we want to go. But look, we did it. No full game mode complete for level 2. It's kind of weird that when you complete no full, it doesn't also complete classic, given that this is the exact same, just without the no full thing. But whatever. Let's work through some levels, and I'll show you where we get after a lot more of this. Oh no, if you do no full, it doesn't actually count towards the unlocking levels. You have to do classic, even though no full is just the same but harder. I'm going to be here for a while. Some would say that's a bit monotonous and that maybe 20 levels is a bit of an over-exaggeration when so many, especially of these earlier game ones, are effectively the same. Like, there's no real difference. We're still just jumping, running full sprint the whole time. Sometimes we go left and then right, but it's mostly pretty basic. Again, unless you're on mobile. Level 4 proves this point more than ever before. It's pretty much the exact same setup. They've moved one of the pillagers slightly forward from the other one, so it's not just one thing you're getting past. But for the most part, it's just run, sprint, jump. No real penalties for not. I still haven't had to actually crouch the entire time to get through, and I'm not convinced I will, given that arrows aren't knocking me back anyway. But maybe in the more precise parkours later, that's when it'll become important, I assume. Again, these are nice environments they're building, but the actual engageable parts of the level don't seem to change a huge deal. They're ramping up the difficulty very gently. This is mostly just a super calm activity. You could like listen to a YouTube video or a podcast or whatever else while you play. It's not, again, right now, not hugely mentally engaging. I'm improving my parkour skills, I assume. But, you know, or like maybe I'm not because it's pretty basic. But I think the fun point is meant to be that it's like, okay, it's zen. You find your place and it's great in that way. Also, why are there buttons at the end here? Are we just like, you know, let's not think about it. Let's just call it level complete and move on to the normal levels. Yeah, we're going past this C.E.S. and we are going towards level 6. But, no, yeah, I could see this being some form of race, but I don't even know if it is multiplayer setup. I think this is meant to be a thing you do all the way by yourself. And I think as a result of that, it kind of misses something. Like, it's going to be a great parkour map if you're just looking for some parkour to do while you idle. But is it the greatest parkour map? No. Is it the greatest thing on the store? No. But what we do have to say is at least it's like accurately titled. No one's getting this expecting anything too much different to what they get. And some people might be actually pleasantly surprised by the fun pillager mechanic, which makes it very different to other parkours of the same type. Oh, there we go. So that's kind of fun, I could say. But yeah, otherwise it is a pretty basic parkour that is slowly wearing down my patience with just the amount of time it takes without the challenge to fill it. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a perfect thing for when you just want the zen parkour, zone out, do something else experience. It's really great. It's one of the better parkour maps if that's what you're looking for. But if what you're looking for is something, you know, more perhaps than just that, if you feel like it's going to be, you know, interesting and challenging all the way through, and it's going to have something super engaging, nope, you just get 20 levels of this, and then after those 20 levels are done, there's a challenge where you can try not to fall. Although again, right now, we fall very infrequently anyway, so, and also you have to do every level individually that way. So, what do I feel about this map? I feel like it's pretty good. I feel like it's priced appropriately. I feel like it's almost great. It's missing something, but I would still recommend it if you want this sort of a parkour map. And it's definitely the best of the things we showed off today, that's for sure. Although actually, you know, that Space Cat's skin pack, that sure does be tempting me. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this week's Marketplace Monday. Next week on Fun Friday, the series where we check out fun Marketplace maps, we're going to be you know, going through some more stuff. But most importantly, I feel like going through each of these maps and giving them a feel is something that can help you every single week when new maps release to know which ones are worth your time and which ones are not. It's very, very hard to pick that up just by glancing in the store sometimes. Some maps like this do a much better jobs than other maps like the one we checked out earlier. But the truth is without a structural change to the system, there's always going to be some issues like this, and the easiest way is to vote with your wallet for things that do seem clear. If you're confused about something, purchasing it, you know, again, is a risk you're taking. When you feel like you're pretty sure, you're doing something much better, in my opinion, and that is why you should check this one out. Ooh, this is black for the floor. How very exciting and different. Actually, you know what? One thing I do have to say about this map is I love is the trapdoor in front of the pumpkin thing. That's a really clever way to get like orange light going through. There's some things I really like about this map. I can tell it was crafted with love, and that is something you definitely can't say about the Modern House maps, and that's why it's important to show off the maps that aren't like that, and why we have done precisely so today. I really want to jump to those ladders there, but we won't. Instead, what we'll do is make a big fail, apparently. Oh, that one actually knocked me off. Okay, there we go. Look at this. We're finally reaching the stage where we have to crouch. Look at this. Actually, can we kill the pillagers? Okay, you can't kill the pillagers. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed today's thing. You can like it if you did like it. You can share if you really liked it. And make sure to subscribe to notifications if you want to see more videos like this one every single day on your channel. or on your homepage. This is my channel. It's subscribing is a way to make sure videos come towards you, and thank you to the third of you who have chosen to do that already. Thank you very much for watching, because I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.